Hello, this is Pamela, the Divorce Mystic. I'm a 25-year intuitive attorney, mediator, and coach who's integrated a spiritual practice into her business. Today, we're going to discuss why it's important to mute the world's opinion about your divorce. There's never been a divorce where there aren't critics and or supporters. And whether this input comes in the forms of friends or family, the larger community, a religious segment, or even sometimes one's own inner critic, it's very important at the very beginning of the stage of the process to erect an energetic shield around you to protect you, your own integrity, the integrity of the process, and the integrity of your own soul's journey. What do I mean by that? Divorce is ultimately an internal private affair beyond the noise of the system, the court system, the process that's chosen, the professionals that walk the journey with you. There's also a simultaneous inner journey. And it's the success of that inner journey that's going to determine the success of the outer journey, as well as how well you do moving forward from the entanglement of the dance of student and teacher dynamic with your spouse. Divorce is, as well as the inner process of divorce, is a dark night of the soul event. And it's very hard to consciously walk through both while dealing with the turbulence and uncertainty of the divorce process itself. As an attorney who does collaborative and mediation as well as coaching divorcing people, it's very hard, no matter how many feathers I might put down before, to help soften the approach. It's never going to obviate all of it. It's only going to lessen it. So it's individuals who miss the opportunity to keep outside opinions from entering into the process. They miss the opportunity to align with their higher self. They miss the opportunity to even understand their own truth, to get to a point of being able to understand and align with their own truth. They make decisions that are irrational. They're unable to find clarity. They're just constantly letting things bounce on and bouncing them around rather than staying firm and aligned. No matter how hard it is, there is help, but no matter how hard it is to stay aligned between that inner process and the outer process, it's very rare that someone can do it successfully with all this outer interference. In addition from being able to be clear and find clarity and make authentic decisions, sometimes people make settlement decisions that are out of integrity, not necessarily because they're not in integrity. They're making decisions that are not in their integrity, meaning it's not going to serve them long term, but they are unable to see it. Sometimes it may be just someone wanting to get out of pushing them to get out, to make this go away. So they make decisions that are simply not in their interest. And it also interferes with a client's decision or an individual's ability to see the higher purpose of the divorce, to understand the higher purpose and intention of the marriage itself, what the soul contract is, being able to understand what the provisions of the contract were, and did they successfully or unsuccessfully proceed through that contract? Is it truly terminated? They're unable to get to that place where they can deal with the human journey of the divorce process while at the same time balancing, right, the spiritual side. What is the spiritual side and how does this work together and what do I need to know? Because when you're armed with the knowledge that true healing comes from that understanding, it comes from the understanding of knowing, what is the broader perspective of my marriage? Who is this person? It's certainly not our first time together. What is our contract? Did we meet that contract? What's going on? How do I move forward in a state of grace and dignity and move on to my next phase of my soul's evolutionary journey and really do that inner work that brings the jewels forward? The jewels of divorce is just as powerful as anything that you're going to receive, and even more so than anything that you're going to receive from the human perspective of a divorce, right? Support and what settlement agreements and how property is divided, etc. All of that becomes easy once the higher intention of the relationship is understood and respected. So if you want to proceed through your divorce with dignity, grace, and eased and truly understand the higher perspective, to be able to shift your perspective from the human drama into one of true knowledge, of understanding the higher intention, then it's so important that you mute the world's opinion. You disallow any interference to come in that is not truly there to support the unity between your higher self and your human walk together, so that you're constantly aligned, you're making rational decisions, you're able to find clarity, you're able to truly find healing from that place of your core, from the core, and to understand that your essence is naturally joyful and naturally abundant, and your soul is on an evolutionary journey. And when I mentioned in the beginning to respect the integrity or protect the integrity of your individual soul's journey, if it's time to leave the marriage and you're moving forward, then we want a way to clear that energy, to truly get the jewels, as I said, from that relationship, so that you can, and also respect the higher soul family, respect the higher relationship with your spouse. Once we understand that we're on a longer journey together, that this is not our only time around, once that divorce takes place, then it makes more sense as to why you would want a solution or a resolution that is going to be of the highest good of all, and certainly the highest good of your larger soul family. Mute the opinions of others and make your decisions wisely. And if you need help, seek the help that you need. But know that there is no greater guide than the one that's within you, in alignment with your soul. Until we meet again, my friend, namaste.